So I'm in a bit of a dilemma in my business right now. I'm at that weird point where I feel like I have to choose between making the slow nickel versus the fast dime. I know this is a big topic. There's a lot of opinions in the reselling business around this topic, but I kind of feel like it all just depends on where you are, like your current situation in your business. And just to point out real quick, this is extremely weird for me to be vlogging out here in public. Like, I think by now I should be used to it. I've been doing this for a little bit, but it's still hard for me to get used to doing this. So this is a little bit awkward. And this is why I've been kind of stepping up the amount of videos I've been making, because I want to step out of my comfort zone and kind of push myself a little bit. Just the thought of someone looking at me speak through a camera, there's no one else here. So I'm kind of just talking to myself. So that's kind of the topic of today's video. I'm going to be discussing the changes that I want to make here in 2026. I know I've talked about this before, but I want to talk about the different platforms where I plan on doing this, kind of what my plans are for eBay coming up here in the near future. And right now, I really don't have the luxury of waiting like 3, 6, 9 months for something to sell on eBay. So that's kind of where my decision's coming from. I'm kind of in a position in my personal business. Again, like I said, it's different for everybody, but I'm kind of in a position where I need to make fast money. Like, I've been doing this for 2 years now, but the wheels are still on the ground. Like, I haven't taken off the runway yet. I'm still trying to figure things out, trying to figure out how to get this thing moving. And I think what we're going to talk about today is definitely going to help me out this year and just moving forward. But first, I did order something over on Whatnot. So let's open that up first. We'll get into some eBay sales and then we'll get into the topic of this video. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and open these out here. I don't blame the seller for this. It looks like they did a good job of packaging it. I think someone either tried to open it or I don't know. I don't know what happened, but let's hope everything's still in here. I don't remember exactly what I ordered as far as like the little models and stuff. I know I got Micro Machines, but we're going to check it out together and see what we have in here. So they should all be in this one right here. The rest is empty. These are cool, man. I've never been into these. Like, I've never collected them or anything like that. But when I was in her show, I had to pick some of these up. These look cool. So there's a total of 4 of them. Here's the first one. So she actually went ahead and marked all of these up on the bags. So 1997 Micro Machine Service Masters Record tow truck. We have a Micro Machine Chevy Corvette 1963 split rear window. And then this one is a blue Aston Martin DB5, it looks like it says. It's crazy because I never collected these as a kid or anything. I remember Hot Wheels, but I don't really remember these Micro Machines. And then the last one is a Micro Machine Military Army Ambo van. So yeah, those cars are pretty cool. They're not crazy valuable or nothing. I went ahead and threw them up on eBay. I did it more to support the seller over on Whatnot. But I want to go over the eBay sales as well, because this is part of the reason why this whole conversation came up in my head. Because the last video that I did where I talked about my sales, my last sale on that video was January 9th. It is now January 21st. So it's been 12 days. In those 12 days, I've only had 9 total sales. The last sale was on January 16th. So today is day number 5 with 0 sales on eBay. Now, I don't blame this completely on eBay. I know it probably has more to do with the stuff that I'm sourcing and the stuff that I'm listing. I also haven't been too consistent on eBay as well. Like, before I was listing, I started off 8 to 10 items a day. And then recently I dropped down to 3 items a day. And right now I'm barely listing anything because of what I'm going to talk about in the video and like the new way that I'm selling. But you can see, as a full-time reseller, 9 sales in the last 12 days is just not going to cut it. And then no sales in the last 5 days. How am I supposed to even pay my bills or, you know, buy new stuff to new inventory and stuff like that? There's no way you can survive on that. So I definitely think it is time to pivot in my business. But just to quickly talk about the things that did sell. We got this Smart Dome security camera. This was actually like a consignment deal from one of my old managers. They gave me a bunch of stuff to sell. This sold for $26 plus shipping. We had a pair of shorts from that clothing unit, $10 plus shipping. This was from that same Hello Kitty storage unit, $22.45 plus shipping. This actually sold really fast, I think in like a couple days or less than a week. That Monopoly, the Squishmallow Monopoly, was also from that same unit, and that sold extremely fast as well, $16.98 plus shipping. These jeans right here were actually from Savers. I think I ended up paying like 12, maybe I think $9 to $12, somewhere around that range with the 20% coupon. Those sold for $38 plus shipping. This shirt right here was also from that clothing unit. Again, 100% profit on all the clothing items from that unit because we've already made our money back. 25 plus shipping. The Hello Kitty Crocs were also from the Hello Kitty unit. Those sold for $42 plus shipping. Those were brand new. They sold in probably like 7 to 10 days. Another shirt, $13 plus shipping. And the last item from that same clothing unit, no, actually this was from the Hello Kitty unit. They had a bunch of kids clothes in there as well. And these sold for $11.98 plus shipping. Again, that was January 16th. It is now January 21st, so day number 5 with 0 sales on eBay. So that's $206 from those sales right there. That doesn't include fees or anything like that. So that's not the actual take-home value. It's gonna be a lot less than that. Definitely under $200. So you let me know, what world can you survive in on less than $200 in, what, 9 days or something like that? Definitely not doable. So that's why I'm not dumb. Like, I do love eBay. I want to stick with eBay. I'm not going to quit that platform at all. That's for sure. I'm going to keep listing on there. And just for a little bit of context, since we're talking about different platforms, let me just show you what I did over on the live shows that I've been doing. I'm just going to go over like the last 3 or 4. I'm not going to do every single one, but here are some whatnot shows that I did. 27 items sold. So you're going to see that this clears out inventory really fast. $114 in total sales. The next one was a toy and plus show, 48 items sold. And that one was $222 in total sales. The next one, not as good, but still $82 in sales, 26 items sold. And then I sold over on another live platform, 35 items sold. This was an all clothing show. And this one brought in $111 in net sales. So in just those 4 shows, that's over 100 items that I was able to move through. And that was a little over $500 in total sales. Now for those live shows, on average, that can take me anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours, somewhere in there. Since I am just starting off, it takes me a little longer to build up that audience and get some items sold. But I know if I stay consistent on there over time, that's gonna shrink as far as how long I have to do shows for and like the amount of profit I can bring in. And right now, this is kind of what's gonna work in our business as far as what I'm looking for. I don't know why I'm sitting on this thing. That thing's uncomfortable, but that's gonna work best as far as what we're looking to do in our business. Yeah, I know I'm not bringing in the most profit. I'm probably leaving a couple $100s on the table if I were just to list this stuff on eBay. But again, I'm not in the position, or right now in this point in my business, I don't wanna wait 3, 6, 9, 12 months for some of this stuff to sell. And let's be honest, a lot of this stuff will not even sell on eBay. Like, it'll sit there. You'll end up running like 50% markdowns in your store and just end up either breaking even or just not even making any money on the sale. I want to give a recent example of something I just did. I actually just made a reel about this as well. So what I did is I took down 35 listings from that last show that I just did, that I showed. The 35 listings that I sold, I took all down from eBay. That had a total listed amount for $574. I kind of did the math on it. I can slash like $100 off of there because we always take offers and we send out coupons and stuff like that. So let's just say from $574, the sales come down to $475 after taking offers. eBay does charge 13 to 15% fees on different categories. And then there's like sales tax, final value fees. And we always promote our listings at 4.5%, somewhere around there. So that takes another 20% off of that $475, which leaves us about $380 in total profit after it's all said and done for those $574 worth of listings. So $380, let's just say that stuff sat for like 6 to 9 months, okay? So 6 to 9 months for $380 profit. On the other side of that, I just ran a live show for, I think I ran for about 3 hours. I ended up making about $100 in profit, and I was able to sell through every single one of those 35 items. Yeah, I only made $100 compared to the 380, but I made it in 3 hours compared to months and months of sitting on eBay. I just want to see your opinion on this because I know it doesn't there's no right or wrong way, and it just depends, like I've been saying this whole video, on your current situation. You might be in a situation where your bank account is okay, you're doing fine, you have other sources of income, so you don't have to, that stuff doesn't have to sell right away on eBay. You can let it sit. Or you can be more like me, where you're trying to get things off the ground, you need more money for sourcing, you have some bills that are due, stuff like that, and you just want the money quick. So let me know where you're at on this subject. I'm really curious to see where you guys stand on this. So I just wanted to jump in here real quick because I just realized that I forgot the whole main topic of the video that I wanted to go over. You can see how much talking in public screwed me up. I couldn't even get across what I wanted to say. But anyway, what I was trying to say is, I think what I'm going to do moving forward, at least for the next few months, I'm going to go like 90% Whatnot, 10% eBay. We're not going to quit eBay because I really like the static sales, just to be able to wake up and have sales sitting on your phone, compared to live selling, where you actually have to be physically on there selling to be able to make money. I know we're going to be losing a little bit of profit, but I know we'll make up for it by being able to sell things quickly, turning that money over, and being able to buy inventory faster. So for now, which is January, I would say up until like summertime maybe of 2026, we might just run everything through Whatnot and just list like a couple handpicked items on eBay, like the higher price stuff that has a fast sell-through rate. So all the storage units that we get from now on, we're just gonna grab everything and run everything through a live show over on Whatnot. I wanted to add that in here because I completely forgot to mention that during the video. There wasn't much more else to this video. This is just what I wanted to talk about and just get stuff off that's on my mind and kind of see where you stand on this topic. So make sure you drop in the comments. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next video.